What's up, guys? Happy Monday morning. Coming to you with another Mike's Monday Motivation. We are like a month away from 156 Mike's Monday Motivations. Guys, that's 3 years. That is 3 years of showing up every Monday with another episode to bring you value. And hopefully it's bringing you value. I don't know if it actually is or not, but I'm going to keep doing it because I committed to doing it. But 3 years, man, it's amazing what happens when you just start something and just say, I'm going to do this forever. There is no end. I'm just going to keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. But 3 years, 156 episodes, 3 years of Mike's. I don't know what I'm going to do for that episode, but I'm going to do something big. I don't know what it is yet. But today I want to talk about, the mindset related to your spouse in your business. There's two extremes that I've seen that I think both are equally as destructive. One is the spouse is in the business, but there's no clear roles or responsibilities. It's just expected they're going to do whatever necessary to support the mission. And then the other is my spouse can't handle it, so we just don't talk about it at all. They don't know anything about the business or the money or anything. And I've seen both of those. I've seen the extremes in one side where the spouse has literally knows nothing, and the other side where the spouse is everything to the business and nothing would happen without the spouse being there, doing the job. And look, I'm going to come at this from the husband perspective because I am the husband. My wife does work in the business. And look, a lot of my clients are men, and so I see things. I'm not saying that the same things don't happen with women related to their husbands. If the woman is the business owner, husband is not. But I'm coming at this from the man's perspective as a business owner and the wife, because Tiff and I have been through massive evolutions when it comes to working together in the business. So I'm going to start with spouses in the business, but it's just like wearing all the hats. Your spouse doesn't want to let you down. And understanding that means they're going to work really hard to just continue to pick up all the pieces, and you're going to continue to make assumptions that they're going to be able to. And the reality is, just like any employee, they want to know that they're doing enough, that they're bringing you the right amount of support, that they're doing what needs to be done, that they are following through on expectations, that they're able to bring the value that you want. The more structure you can give them, the better. The more defined roles, responsibilities, and expectations you give, the better. The more this is what success looks like, the better. The more singular roles. Obviously in small businesses, people wear a lot of hats, but the better you can do to give a role to your spouse, not all roles to your spouse, the better off you'll be. But the reality for most people is they haven't even asked their spouse, what do they want? Do you want to do this? Do you want to be involved in the business? Do you want this role, or are you just doing it because you think I need it? It's a really strong question to ask your spouse to make sure that you guys are moving in the same direction at the same speed, and that you're actually setting them up for success. Because I'll tell you, there's nothing worse for a marriage than somebody feeling like they're constantly letting you down. They have no clear understanding, they have no clear direction, they have no clear way to know if they're doing enough for you, and then you stop talking to them and giving them direction because you just assume they got it under control. Terrible. Terrible for a marriage. The other side of it is my wife can't handle what goes on in my business, so I choose not to keep her involved. I also don't think this is very healthy, because what happens is throughout the lifespan of the business, you have to make decisions related to risk and investments and money and debts and everything else. And when you do that, you need the input from your partner. You need somebody to help you understand what's right and what's wrong. You need somebody to help guide you and making sure that you're driving your mission forward. Your business is not the mission. I cannot say this clearly enough. It is, but your life is run by the output of the business. And so your family is directly impacted by what comes out of the business, right? In this case, for most people, it's money. I do this, and I get money. And that money feeds and drives the family. And I think more spouses would be involved if they had enough information. Why I see most people not do this is because they don't want to go through the effort to catch their spouse up on all the details or answer questions about a problem when they have one. You say hey, this happened today. Well, why'd that happen? And you just don't want to talk about it. I get it. But if their spouse is consistently involved, you won't have to catch them up every time something comes up. You can celebrate more with them. You can have, you can problem solve more with them. You can get them more involved in certain decisions in the business because they're informed. More spouses want to be involved. And I'm not saying there aren't spouses that say, I don't want to. Cool, listen to your spouse. I just don't think that's normally the case. Because more often than not, I've seen at some point the spouse is like, well, I just don't know. What do you want from me? And that becomes a conversation that becomes very difficult to solve quickly because you've spent such a long time keeping that person at arm's reach. You know, for Tiff and I, we've been through all of it. You know, when I started the business, she wasn't involved at all. Then she was wearing all the hats with Lindsay, and then we had, you know, multiple roles. Now she's in a single role, and she's been in the business, out of the business, as we've like learned and grown through this homeschool transition and finding a nanny and everything else. And like, it hasn't been easy, but I'll tell you, nothing has worked better than giving very clear roles, responsibilities, and expectations. You know, so if your spouse is in your business, or if they're not, you still say like, this is the role I want you to play. I just want you to listen sometimes. I don't need you to problem solve. Like the next time you have something to bitch about related to your business, sit your wife down and be like, hey, I don't need you to solve this. I just need you to listen because I need to talk to somebody about it. Set the proper roles, responsibilities, expectations right there. I just need you to listen. Because if you don't say like, man, like cash flow, and like she's like, well, you want me to stop spending money? I'm sorry, I went to Target last week, and it becomes this fucking battle. Stop doing that. Set proper expectations, whether in the business or not. Change your mindset around where your wife plays a role, or your spouse plays a role inside of your business. The better that I've gotten at articulating that, the more successful Tiff has been. The last point I want to put out there is, for Tiff and I specifically, I don't know if this is the same for everybody else, but this is our story. Tiff does a phenomenal job and does a phenomenal better job working on the team with me as opposed to working directly related to me. An example like my assistant compared to events director. Tiff is working for me on the team as the events director. Tiff is working with me as an event director. She was working for me as my assistant with like schedule management and travel stuff and all that kind of thing. That didn't work. With me worked, for me did not. So that might help you figure out a way to put your spouse in the right role to be successful inside of your business. So hopefully that helped. Hopefully it helps you change your mindset around your spouse related to your business from different perspectives that I've dealt with over the years. If you have more questions on that, reach out, let's talk. If you're dealing with that right now and don't know what to do, you know, I know myself and many of the coaches on our team have dealt with working with their spouse or currently do, and we'd love an opportunity to help you figure that out so that you can win fast and win often.